What's good, everybody? We back with another episode 16 of UnorthoTalks.
Yes, sir.
We putting up numbers.
We putting up numbers, bro. Numbers on the board this year, so
yes,
we out here.
You know what it is. Your host with the most, Kanye James. I'm here with my co-host, of course.
You know me, OVO Otis.
Yeah. Who
called you that? I told you, if you listen to the last episode, that was my Xbox gamer tag. If I was on OVO, I'd be OVO Otis. So OVO Otis, aka Frugal Poppy, aka Otis Stomps, aka your boy. You know, we
ain't nobody calling him bubble that. And we got some guests here with us. We got the MadMix with us.
Yes, sir.
Very special episode here, guys. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time. This is our biggest collab to date. You know, the MadMix, they've been doing their thing for a couple of years right now. You know, because of them, we aspire to have a little podcast of our own. So it's kind of an inspiration to us also. So
let's go.
Got Malick here.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody?
Got Dak.
I've been here.
This is what, number 5?
Number 5. I'm collecting all the rings, yo.
Let's go.
All right. So for everyone who doesn't know, can you guys explain what your podcast consists of? You know, what it's all about?
I'll take this one. First and foremost, I will say it's an honor to be on the podcast, fellas. I know it was a long time in the making. Happy to make this happen. For those who might not know, the MadMix is, it's been an evolution, but we'll start with our latest work with the podcast. I've been doing it for about 3 years. It's a podcast around, pop culture, trends, sports, everything from a marketing perspective, advertising, basically just in our worlds, our industries. We both come from advertising, marketing kind of background, and we really wanted to use it as as an outlet for us to be able to kind of get our opinions out there, get our thoughts out there. And especially last summer, we've kind of been flipping it to be a bit more of a BIPOC focus as well, and with the guests that we have on, the topics that we have on. So seeing a lot of success, in our 3 years. We're on season 3, and no slowing down anytime soon.
Perfect description of MadMix. But yes, you guys are doing your thing. I've seen the success coming, started from humble beginnings. You guys are out here now.
Very humble beginnings.
Yeah, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we aspire to be, I guess, on your level soon, like in the next couple of years, but you just gotta be consistent, put out quality,
The most important part is, though, have fun with it. Because I think the biggest thing about this is, I don't treat it like a job. I don't feel like it's ever a chore. I feel like when we get into the room, we turn the camera on. Well, not the camera on anymore. The COVID situation, turn the mic on. We just have fun with it. And
you're talking with your boy, and there happens to be a mic.
Yeah, man, exactly.
It's a conversational piece.
That's kind of how I feel with this one too. Honestly, it's just super comfortable. Even when we have guests, it's a lot of us just talking about shit that we talk about anyways, right?
Yeah. Barbershop combo type stuff.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I'll ask you guys this: how do you feel like things have been going so far? Not to flip the intro, it's I don't know.
Easy.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with the way things are going right now. If you guys don't remember, last year was season 1. It was just me. So it was kind of hard. I needed a guest every single week, and it's I wasn't consistent because of that. True. And plus it was COVID, so it's I'm not seeing people all the time, and there was no vaccines, everything like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was harder for me last year. But I will say last year the listenership was at a all-time high, but that's because it was new. It was something different.
I feel with that too, you were just dropping episodes randomly, so people were oh shit, this man finally dropped again.
Literally. If I look at the analytics from the first episode to the last one, I started at 80, went down to 20, 16, but whatever. So this year with Kanye on board, it's just way more comfortable with me.
Yes, sir.
I don't even care about the viewership or whatever now. It's just the consistency is all that matters. So it's I'm more comfortable with us putting out episodes. Just we don't need a guest every single week. We just talk we're boys. We talk about whatever, and it's just we put together, we have a vision. So right now, this is just humble beginnings. Sooner or later, we're gonna incorporate more videos. We've been doing videos here and there this season, and also we want to get into a studio.
Yes, sir.
I want to do a blog. I want to do the clothing, everything. So guys, this is the beginning. Listen, just
start
next
with one
year,
thing and then
literally, me and I said, by the end of the year, we just want to put as much episodes out as we can, and we'll see where it is by 2022, and just go from there. It's only up from here, honestly. So
facts.
That's how I'd say it. We do just the same thing.
Yeah, to be honest, the same thing. I just want to be consistent with it, because definitely before, you were right. Like, it was super inconsistent, and you would get more viewers just because it's like, okay, I put out an episode, so people are like, oh shit.
Don't know what the next one's coming.
Right? So people were like, oh, I gotta watch this. I don't know
This might be the last one.
Right? And there was a time where, like, low key, you were thinking about, like, okay, I don't know if I want to do the podcast anymore. Remember? And I was like,
we back.
I'll tell you something that makes me feel even better. Like 80% of podcasts fail after a 6th episode. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Really?
That's crazy.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Remember I told you last year I want to do 7 and I'm done. But look at that now, 16 right now, and that's crazy.
Keep
So
going.
like that's why it's already an achievement in itself. Like just how far we got this year.
Exactly.
Like, we're probably gonna hit like close to 30 episodes for the year. You know,
Yeah, of course,
like
of
who
course.
knows? Like so, like you know, we out here just I appreciate everyone for like tuning in at all times. Like that's the number one thing. Like. You guys taking your time out of your day just to listen to us talk shit. We're just some normal guys. Everyone has a podcast these days, so just like, we appreciate that, like, first and foremost. But yeah.
Great way to start. I love it.
All
Good
right.
vibes going in.
All right, let's get into it. So let's start with the quick strike segment.
Get right to it.
I'm gonna do the little music this time because this guy don't want to.
You know what I'm saying for us?
Is that how you do it?
We don't got a soundboard yet.
You know, so first topic of discussion, let's talk about, I guess, just Pop Smoke, pretty much. This is a kind of a sad story, but apparently his gravesite was vandalized yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, mans were literally trying to, like, pull his gravesite out. Like, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know who's responsible, but, like, this man can't rest in peace, bro. It's just crazy. What do you guys think about that?
I mean,
Demons, man. Like, I don't know how crazy you have to be to mess with someone that's dead. Like, what do you have to gain for this? And I kind of feel like it's like what their intention was to probably like record this on video and then show them disrespecting. And that's like this new generation stuff right now.
Yeah.
The new generation's so wild, bro.
They're wild,
Like,
man.
they really just do anything on video and then they post it.
like hope for
Yeah.
views, bro.
Yeah.
And what's fucked up about that and is like at that point you're not just like messing with somebody, like you're fucking with the family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like, so then it kind of like it makes it a little bit more personal
Yeah.
and appropriate, even if it's just a prank or for a joke or something like that. It's just not something you do, like
No.
especially like to someone who's very well respected in the hip hop industry and probably in his own community as well.
100%.
It's just like you just don't do those things, whether it's like someone who's a celebrity, or an ordinary person. You know what I mean? You just don't do that.
Yeah.
New generation is like
Gen Z,
far, man. It's like what's the point of that, man? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, for them, it's like, where is even the line, really? Because,
real shit.
like, I'll be real, they just be doing disrespectful shit on the regular. So it's like, where do you draw the line where it's like, yo, like, what are you doing? Like, this shit's stupid as hell.
Well, man, and what's crazy too is like this is on video, bro,
Yeah.
and like these are
They
probably just
probably
kids
get
or like
yeah.
whatever, like trying to get views, whatever it is. But at the same time, like in a couple of years' time, like you guys know how crazy like the cancel culture type
Yeah.
situation is right now, based off like such shit that someone would have said back in the day. Why would you act like amongst everything that's going on? Why would you actively record yourself doing some dumb shit, post it online, and then like have the audacity to like apply for a job like years later and be like, yeah, we found this video of you. Your interview was great, but we saw this video of you on the internet.
I don't know that person. I don't know who that is.
That's the old me. That's the old me. It's not dig graves anymore, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, these kids don't understand. Like, whatever's on the internet lives forever, So it's like, in this digital age, you can't kind of hide shit. Like,
Yeah, and you don't know who's watching. And like, it could be like your friends, it could be like someone in your neighborhood, it could be someone
Police,
it
bro.
could
Like,
be
it's like crime, dog.
man.
Especially when shit blows up like this.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, people are watching.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I don't know, man. It sucks.
it's crazy, yo. Anyways, hope whoever's responsible gets caught and. They
I
get
mean,
out.
evidence is already there.
So whatever. But next topic, real quick, I guess. NFL season, guys, started.
We got the game on right
we
now.
got the game on right
Got the game on right now. I'm just gonna say Bills Mafia. Shout out Bills Mafia. That's the team right there.
The Bills?
Yes, sir. Buffalo Bills. You know why? It's just because of proximity.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it's proximity. It's not
Have you
really.
been to a Bills game?
I want to go to, and I have not.
That'll be fun.
And I have I remember when I used to thrift back in the day. I had this old school, '94 conference finals sweater.
Sure.
And I used to rock the shit out of it. So it's shout out the Bills. We almost made the Super Bowl last year. Almost. But this year's our year.
They're looking good though, man.
As I'm saying, bro, they've been struggling for a time, so it's like it's good to see. Like I'm more into basketball, I'm not gonna lie, but like football, I'll watch during the playoffs and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it's just,
same.
But I always know what's going on with sports. I'm always in tune with sports.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what sport it is. I'm in tune with it. I might not watch it too much, but I'm in tune. I know what's going on. Like I know who will win that like Stanley Cup. I'll know who.
What's going on in golf right now, man?
See what happens.
Oh, you guys don't know Phil Mickelson, man?
Yeah,
I don't know. Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, come on.
Yo, listen. All I'm gonna say, Bills Mafia. That's it. You guys, who's your team? If you guys watch that,
I mean, I like you. I'm not really super big into football, but like I follow the storylines.
Yeah.
Like I watched the other day. I watched the Cowboys Buccaneers game. That was a great game, man. That was a good way to start the season. I feel like the NFL is like, I don't know, like even right now, you're looking at the back of the helmet, there's end racism. Like, there's 8 racism.
Oh, really? Was that? Oh,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, it's I just kind of fell out with it. Like I was really into it like maybe 10 years ago. But like, I don't know, I just feel like so much crazy shit goes down in the league. Like even like the Ray Rice stuff. Like I remember that. I was like, oh, bro,
Okay,
like,
guys.
I was like, this is like
great question. Since the MadMix is on it,
All right.
do you think the NFL is doing a good job at marketing their game? Like outside of America, obviously Americans they love their football.
Yeah.
But do you see like you know how they sometimes the NFL says, oh, we want to go to the UK, we want to do this and that.
They do games like in the UK.
Yeah, they do,
once
but
in a
The
while.
interest is still there.
The marketing, like as opposed to the NBA or something like that.
I don't hear anyone but Americans talk about football.
yeah.
American football.
But like, yeah, I would say that like it's very much. I would say they're trying. I don't know if they're gonna doing a great job outside of America because like they already got their bread and butter. This is where the money's made.
Yeah.
It's all good. If you want to grow the game in other areas of the world, like football's not really like accessible to like probably a lot of people around the world. It requires like a lot of people, a lot of time, a lot of like training.
equipment.
Yeah, in fact. And then, but like I don't know. It's just an American thing, right? Like it's not like basketball where it's like okay, everybody can pick up a ball and play. It's not like soccer. Everyone can just like kick a ball around.
Yeah, that's true.
Like NFL is I put on the same level as like a hockey where it's like kind of like very in the same like cultural space of like Canada and the United States, but it doesn't really have legs to go anywhere else. So I'm gonna say do a good job internally outside of America.
I don't think it's their focus as much as the NBA. You know, like I don't hear about, like I said, American football in Europe much, or the Caribbean even, or anything like that. So
Or Canada.
Canada.
Do you think
we have the
NFL,
CFL, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Do you think because of CFL, can an NFL team work in Canada, like in Toronto or something?
Honestly, probably. Like I think if there's enough like American football fans in
There are.
Bro, it almost happened. Remember a few years ago, Bon Jovi and his group, they wanted to bring the team to Toronto. It didn't happen.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah, that's like they're like you know when you go together to buy a team, what's it called?
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, it was Bon Jovi was like he led it and he wanted to bring the NFL to Toronto. Yeah, bro. I wanted it to happen, but CFL's like yeah, it might be problems and
That's what I figured. How would that work?
Yeah.
Because CFL is an extension of the NFL, right? Or
CFL's older than NFL.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a totally different league.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like it's basically like a non-compete.
Yeah,
like you don't
that's
want
what
to
I would imagine would happen.
Because like if Toronto right now gets a football team, everybody's going to the show.
I
would be a football fan at that point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm a Bills fan because it's the closest team here.
Yeah.
I would want to see that happen in the future, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Like
And
unfortunately.
CFL, like I mean, I'm not gonna say anything bad about the CFL, but it's not like what the NFL is.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
Bro, do you remember? So our high school, one of the famous graduates of our high school was a CFL player, and he came in and did a, you know, when they do in the auditorium like a little
Like assembly or something?
and he was like there, and I'm like, who's this? What the fuck is this?
Honestly, now that you're saying it, I don't even remember who.
I don't remember who it was. But I'm like, no, why are you here? Like we don't.
Like realistically, the only person I remember is like Joey Votto, and even that,
Yeah.
you know.
And Bo Clemens, yo, that's all.
Hey, oh yeah, straight up, man. Well, it's like man, like the CFL. The good news, is, like the bad news is with the CFL is that like it's struggling to like you know find a way to like continue to get people stoked about it.
Yeah.
But the good news is about it is that there's a lot of potential. So like imagine if there was like like a star from like the NFL or whatever who like comes to play in Canada. I remember Chad Oates who came by, like it was kind of jokes when he did his stay in Montreal. Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, I was gonna say Johnny Manziel.
We don't want to be like the leftovers of like the people who are washed up maybe, but like it'd be dope if like someone on like. I'm not gonna say like Tom Brady comes to but like somebody big comes to the league and like someone exciting, someone that people want to watch. Like that's how you do it.
Big facts.
For sure.
Right, so that's enough NFL talk for now. But just like I said, Bills Mafia, let's get it. Anyway, next topic. Baby Keem, his album dropped. This is his first album, right? This is like not like
the other one was an EP, so first, maybe also the thing.
I didn't finish listening to it, so I can't really talk about it, but from what I heard, it was pretty good. If you guys have listened to it, do you have any thoughts?
Dak, what are your thoughts on that?
It's unique, man. Like, I admire when rappers push the boundaries. They're trying different beats, different flows, different, like pockets. It's not the same that you hear on the radio pretty much. Like, he almost feels like he's Kendrick's cousin and he feels like an extension of Kendrick.
He really does. He really does. Like, I liked it, and honestly, even with like I love Kendrick, so with the Kendrick features, I was like, it's like, I saw it on Twitter. I think Dak tweeted it or retweeted it when they were like, this is like a Kendrick Lamar like personality just kind of embodied, and I felt that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
man. I mean, I'm not like I haven't listened to Baby Keem in I don't know, a couple years. Like ever since like that EP came out, like fuck you me. It's great. But yeah, I'm excited to listen to this one because I listened to that track that he had with Kendrick. It was like a single that came out with I was like, all right, okay, like,
top 5 tonight.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of fire, man. Like, a lot of good music coming out these days, man. It's like
this year, 2021, a lot of shit came out.
We'll remember 2021.
Like Drake, Kanye, Baby Keem,
J. Cole,
Migos,
all the Griselda.
Yo, this might sound a little too early, but do you feel like music-wise this is comparable to like 2016? Because a lot of shit came out in 2016.
Okay, listen, we have a few months left. Let's see who drops. If Kendrick
you're
drops,
on the right train.
It might, but 2016 I feel was like different, bro. That shit hit.
Because we were outside.
Yeah, we were outside.
Not even. We're outside right now.
Different. Not the same.
But the thing is, like, okay, I feel like in 2016, the summertime, the music that dropped, it kind of fit the season.
Yeah. The music now, like, there's no control, there's no work right now other than.
What was the summer? Yeah, apart from Essence, what was the summer anthem? That came out in January too. So it's like I feel like people aren't catering towards like the seasons. Like, we need a summer track. We need like in the winter time like a lover boy type track, like feeling type shit. Like it's not happening lately. So it's just like that's why for right now I won't say that it's surpassed 2016.
Just in terms of big names.
I'll say this though, like. So the music, like 2016 was like iconic year. Anybody who knows like hip hop music, anything like that, everyone knows that 2016 was hype. This year I'll put it on the same level of comparison of like big artists like of like that type of caliber dropping music, but the quality of the music, it's different for sure. But like I will say that like I don't know, like I listened to Migos album. That to me is one of my favorite albums of the year.
Really?
Yeah. I really liked it
because it's better than Culture 2 on this.
Yeah. Dude, Culture 2 is trash.
Yeah.
Like Migos, if you're listening to this, my bad. But no, I was like, I don't know. Like I feel like this year, like there's a lot of like good shit coming out. That good shit that's come out. Like Justin Bieber album too. I can't lie, it's not bad. It's not a bad album, guys.
Skip that one. Purpose was his peak for me.
Purpose was tough.
Yeah, Purpose was tough.
All right, next topic, guys. This is the last topic of the Quick Strike segment. Just wanted to say
Quick Strike.
I love this. See, you just want to say this one. No, listen. 9/11 20th anniversary was yesterday, actually. So just want to remember all the victims and what happened and the impact this 9/11 has had on the world. Because the Americans, when they struck back and they were there, and then like what's crazy. What's going on in Afghanistan is kind of like an extension of even 9/11 because with like the American troops leaving finally.
They've been there for 20 years.
That's what I'm saying. So they're leaving, and it's just like they're back. You know, so it's just like 9/11. The whole impact it's had on a lot of things like since then, and like you know, RP to the victims and shit. If anyone wants to watch a documentary on 9/11, there's one on Netflix. I forget what it's called, but it's very good, very very good. Just
Turning Point?
Turning Point, yeah, Turning Point. So I advise everyone to go check that out if you want to. But yeah, so it's crazy.
You know what's weird? Like to touch on it quick, but like. Remember when there were like 9/11 memes and all that and jokes? I feel like they've kind of like gone away. Like
no, they're still there. They're still there.
It depends on where you are on the internet.
I used to see them very prevalent.
It's Gen Z shit. They don't remember it.
The same people who were in Paul Snowe's grave.
Yeah.
Are the same people who were posting
Making fun of 9/11.
Literally, like that shit crazy. I remember where I was that day. Like I was in grade 2.
Did you get pulled from school?
Nah, bro, because I remember when I got home and my parents were watching CNN and I seen that shit. I said, damn, that's crazy.
I'm pretty sure we got pulled from school.
I did, but I don't remember it. Like,
My mom was like, yeah, you got pulled from school. And I'm like, that's crazy, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's crazy. I remember it. I was in grade 5 and like they didn't tell us in the morning, but it was like maybe after lunch, like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, they like our teacher came or like our principal came in, kind of like told us like this is what's happening, and that like everyone's parents are here to like pick them up and then take them home. And I remember just like walking home, I was like confused. I didn't really know what was going on. But, like, I remember like seeing on the news and shit, and being like, to your point, like damn, that's crazy. Like I don't really understand what's going on here. I didn't even know that the Twin Towers were a thing back then.
I've never been in New York or that.
But like, it's like when I thought of New York and how like the Statue of Liberty fell over or something. Shit like that. I was like, oh, that's crazy. But then, again, anyways, rest in peace. It's definitely like a big time moment in like American history.
Very big.
Just changed a lot of shit too.
Yeah, with like the
security
at airports and stuff like
You're
that.
admit you could just go on a plane without
that's so
without going through all that.
Like now that mass are traveling now is like we're used to this, but like back in the day it was different. And it's like you don't even remember because like you were young or you weren't traveling at all. It's like
you could send off your family right out the gate.
Yeah.
Now you can't. You obviously can't do that.
That's crazy. But, so yeah, like it impacted a lot of things, but like you said, our thoughts are with everyone that was impacted by that.
Right, for sure.
All right, people. So that concludes the quick strike segment. Let's get into the nitty gritty. First thing, so we had a little discussion today. We wanted to know your thoughts, but listen, the price gouging of certain things is just crazy to me. Listen, this is
what is
crazy
inflation,
to me.
dog?
What is inflation? Why is inflation a thing?
Yeah.
Listen. For instance, we were talking about like video games. Back in the day, we can go to like Walmart, EP Games. A new game, brand new, AAA title would be $59.99.
Yeah.
I remember the $59.99
or $39.
Bro, I remember back
Call of Duty.
Back in the day, you used to go to Walmart, get like the new Ratchet and Clank game. 40 bones, bro.
Crazy.
Nowadays, if you want the new Ratchet and Clank game for your PS5, this man got the big ass PS5 over there.
It's a tank.
That shit's probably like $90.
Yeah, $100 pretty much. Like 2K, like I was talking about 2K. I bought that last year for like $90 something. It came up to like 101. And I was like, for what?
One sports game that's obsolete.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? When I bought my PS5, so when I bought it, I traded in my PS4, so I got it for like $600 or something like that. I bought another controller, that was like another $100 something. I bought Spider-Man, that was like, Spider-Man wasn't that, it was like $70.
Okay.
And I bought 2K later, that shit was like $100. So I'm like, in all, I probably spent $1,000 in like a week span on this PlayStation, right? It's just crazy. It's like,
hold up, like think about, when we were kids or when we were in like, when we were teenagers or whatever it is, like our parents could afford like a $50 game for the most part.
Yeah.
But now when things are $100 and maybe you have multiple kids, they want different games.
Yeah.
You're getting one game a year,
and all that.
Yeah,
How do you afford that?
You big 2K.
Exactly.
How do you afford that as a parent? Like then they want shoes that are now $700 that used to be $100. Like I don't know.
Literally, it's just, I don't know what's going on. And it's just like, PlayStation 5s are still reselling on the aftermarket.
Yeah,
that's
wait.
crazy.
It's still so hard to get a PS5.
And that's
makes no
nuts.
sense.
Like, I was lucky. I got that shit first day.
Yeah, same here.
I can't relate to you guys.
I got that shit first day, bro. Like,
boys.
yeah, like,
To the left.
to the right. But yeah, so I feel so people still don't have it. It's crazy to me, yo. That's wild, like a video game console. I know COVID has some impact on you, but just crazy.
Like come on.
Not even, bro.
There's too much mass production.
You know what the thing is? I feel like just generation, like Gen Z, they have.
It's like a microchip shortage or some shit, and
Really?
Ford needs the chips too.
Really?
Because like the computers in the cars and shit, right?
Oh,
So we're in
really?
2021 with shortage of anything, technology-wise. Like,
If anything, we have too much.
Then we send a car to outer space. Like what?
Yeah,
What's going on?
Can I get the chip from that?
Yeah.
When you got a PS5 with that chip, bro.
Yeah, I don't understand this.
Listen, can I remember a few weeks ago we were talking on the podcast about resellers and how they impact everything. I feel
Yeah, of course.
like the sneaker resellers have an impact on reselling everything.
They saw what worked there.
Because if you go on StockX now, they're selling like computer parts, they're selling graphic cards, they're selling PS5s, they're selling everything, handbags. Obviously, that's always been a thing in the Apple market.
It's people like you that ruined it.
I ain't a reseller.
Listen.
But you resold.
I've resold. Listen, if you have the opportunity to resell,
Yeah, look at this guy.
take it. Listen, I'm not a reseller, but I am a reseller, but I'm not.
It's expensive out here.
But it is crazy. And then like also we want to touch on barbershop prices. I feel like our generation is the only generation that has gone through like the barbershop uptick in prices.
Yeah.
Listen, when I was a youth, we barbershop like $10 max. $10
Youth
max.
prices.
Now, if you see case prices, $20.
More, man.
$20, bro.
Sometimes even more.
Men's prices back in the day.
25, 30.
$25 was the most I'd pay for a haircut back in the day. Now it's like if something's $45, yes, bro. Like that's a big deal. We got the hair and everything, bro. And there's some barbers that are charging $80 for a haircut. What are you doing? Haircuts last literally like 4 days.
Yeah.
And then you're looking crusty again, yo. So it's like that's crazy that we literally went through this and we had to experience that, yo. Like it's nuts, yo. And it's like I feel like it's only gonna go up from here.
The thing is, so like I used to go to like a barbershop, like Andrew LaGrave, Glassbox, my buddy opened the barbershop. It's like premium, like it was like marketed as like a premium like barbershop for men, right? And like it's dope. And I kept going to the same guy or whatever, like, you know, he knew like when you find your barber, you stick with your barber, right? But he did. So he quit. But I was like, fuck, who the fuck am I gonna go to now? And he's like, well, I'm still taking some clients or whatever, and like he's just like working out of his house. And he charges me like 50 or 55 bucks for a haircut. I'm like, that's not bad. But like I tip him well because it's like this is his own shit, right? Like he's not working for
$60
me.
out there, man.
Yeah, but I'm like, you know, like all right, like it's like a support thing, right? It's like I want him to continue like being able to do this. So like I
For
pay
you, it's
it.
fine.
For me, it's fine, but it's like I agree though. Like I remember back in the day, I used to get a haircut for $15. Like you know.
I remember our homie Khalil, like when he first started cutting, obviously he was only charging $10 because, you know, he's new. And I've been with him since, you know, just slowly, each increase every year. And now he's at like 35, 40, and he's got the black gloves and all that. I'm like, all right.
Is he at 35, 40?
Yeah. Maybe even more.
I haven't gotten a cut from him in a minute just because like COVID. I cut my shit myself, but like I'd like a proper cut if I need
You feel true.
Yeah, you feel
something,
good,
right?
though.
Yeah.
Come on.
And like with COVID, it's hard because I can't really. I'm not gonna invite him over, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just to cut my hair, especially with like my mom there and shit.
Yeah.
See, I kind of get how the barbers are justifying it in a way because they're like, yo, this is your appearance. This is how you are, you know, presenting yourself to the world. Don't you want the top cut? Like, this should be something that you pay a lot for. I'm like, sure, but like, come on. Like, let's be real. Like, it's a 30-minute like situation.
And it's gonna
here,
last
you know?
long, yo. Like
Yeah.
if like a haircut lasts like a whole month,
That's different.
that's different. I pay $100.
Yeah.
You know,
We go bi-weekly.
Yeah,
for the most
bi-weekly,
part. At the
bro.
end of the year, you're spending over $1,000 on hair.
You know what's funny? Remember, like, no, it's crazy. It's true.
Man, add it up. Like,
You know what's funny? Remember back in the day when we were all on Lake Shore? Remember when Ace of Faith? It was kind of expensive. That shit was like $35. They were like,
I was like, bro, I went all the way to Rexdale to Jamaican Men's to get my shit for $20.
I was like, screw that, man, or not going there. But then we think about it, like they were ahead of the time.
They were ahead of the time.
And now that's
like 2K in there and all that. Get a drink.
why? And now
You could play 2K in there.
Yeah,
man.
while you're waiting, 2K.
Listen, my barber, I still go with my barber on Lake Shore. I met him there. I go to him occasionally.
Shout him out real quick.
Crystal Barber, shout out Crystal Barber, always fresh fades, you know. Yo, listen, Chris is coming back with a vengeance, yo. Let me tell you guys that. Listen, what barbershop can you go to and get some Appleton too, bro? Ooh. Bro, you sitting there, he's like, you want some Appleton? I'm like, bet.
I hope he's not drinking while cutting.
He was crazy. No, I got my haircut, bro. He was like kind of like a little drunk, bro. I was like,
nah, shit, we're gonna
I'm like, yo, we're not fucking my shit up, bro. And he's always
the
like,
barber looks at your shit multiple times.
Like, yeah, let's get to me.
I'm like, dog, we get it.
Bro, guys, you know Chris, but he's a character. He's like, yeah, bro, if you ever want to come for a cut, like 1 a.m., just hit me up. He's like, if you got shorties, come through. I was like, bro, I am not bringing shorties here, bro. It's crazy, bro. But is it like I go to him and I'm paying like $40.
Yeah.
Whereas if I go here, I can go down the street, I'm paying $45 plus tip.
Yeah.
I mean, it's $50, so it's just like I don't know. It's crazy with the barbershop prices, but
it's like I don't know. It's like kind of a give and take. Like it's people say it's like justified. Like I know my barber doesn't charge like he'll give me a quality cut, right? Like he has all this shit set up and everything. But like he doesn't charge me as much as like if I were to go to a shop or something like that. But I don't know, it's expensive to live too, right?
Yeah,
so like if someone's doing this full time, like they gotta charge. And if they went to school for this, they're a professional, they do all that, like, you know, you kind of have to do that, right?
When does it stop?
There's just so much to factor in.
10 years from now, we're spending $100 on a haircut and all that. I'd be sick.
Yeah, don't be surprised, bro. Don't be surprised, but that's what I'm saying. Last year when it was COVID, I was trying to learn how to cut my own hair. Like I can just do a basic cut. I'm kind of scared to line myself up. I can just like, you know, make myself look decent. Like,
I think that factors into it a lot too, because a lot of people during COVID,
they think
all of a sudden they're like, I can cut my own hair.
It's like, yeah.
To the people that cut hair, they see the flaws.
They see the flaws. It's not perfect. Like for like the normal eye, you're gonna be like, okay, it's a decent cut, right? Because look, Marlon, he cuts his own hair. His hair looks fire.
Marlon? Oh, really?
Yeah, he cuts his own hair.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not bad, but it's like I wanted to learn. But the thing too is like during COVID, a lot of like the luxury clippers and stuff were like sold out. So I have like $50 clippers. It's not like you can't do too much with it. I don't have all the guards and stuff, so it's like I can't really play with it.
Yeah.
But it's just like I tried my best, and I needed head tops to work on. Man's wouldn't let me. I asked, my man's wouldn't let me. So it's like maybe I still want to like tap into that, because if I can like at least clean myself up, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Save some money.
It's all convenience. Like I pay a lot for convenience at this point.
Of course.
Like,
And that's why.
That's a big thing.
convenient.
It's whether you're willing to pay that price for the
Exactly.
convenience or
Yeah.
not.
I can walk there. It's a 15-minute walk.
Yeah.
I don't have to do this shit myself and then screw up. And,
Yeah,
you know,
it's like you say the barbers notice when you hear your hair.
Yeah.
I know you guys notice if I cut my hair too. So it's like,
fuck your shit up. Like, see what happened.
dude,
But no, that's crazy. But anyway, guys, like, let's start a hashtag. Yo, stop price gouging, yo. We want cheap.
You better piss off every barber in
Oh,
Toronto.
that's it, like,
We're gonna get a cut nowhere, man.
But yeah,
Is that only nah?
But yeah, that's just how we just had to talk about that, because that shit pissed me
it's
off.
expensive, bro.
It's really
It's
expensive. We trying to live out here, yo. But all right, let's get into this. Is the big bony topic. This game, as you guys know, the past 2 weeks we've been reviewing CLB and Donda. So Kanye and Drake respectively. You already know to have this little weird made up beef or whatever. So
Is that real or not?
bro,
I don't even know.
I don't even know, bro. They're just petty. So this episode we wanted to do a little conclusion to that series and just compare Drake to Kanye. Who's more timeless? In the end of the day, who's gonna be a timeless artist? Drake is at top right now. But
10 years, 12 years.
who knows? Who knows?
years.
So we have this discussion right now. That's why I want to talk about it. It's like, who do you think is more timeless, Drake or Kanye, and why not? And also, let's compare Donda and CLB. Let's compare the whole discography.
Okay.
All this
All right. We'll get into it. I'll share my thoughts.
Yeah.
You talk about timeless. I think there's one answer. It's Kanye West.
100%.
You know?
100%.
I think that it's been 20 years basically of me listening to Kanye. Like I was listening to Kanye tracks like School Spirit. I listened to every single day on the first day of school. For like my entire like elementary. Well, I mean when it came out up until like when I graduated from Humber, basically.
Damn.
I listened to that's timeless to me, bro.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Drake songs, not a lot of Drake albums that I gotta go back to, and I'm like, damn, like I remember where I was when when this album came out.
Okay.
Views, I remember it because it's 2016, goes back to what we were talking about before. But like, if you listen to our latest podcast, like we talked about Drake kind of just like always playing in the moment. Like he's not a risk taker. He knows the formula, he knows what works. He makes music in a framework that he knows will run the numbers up, and it works. 1000%. You can't bullshit that. But Kanye, he's had a lot of successes and he's had a lot of failures along the way. But at least he pushes things and he tries things. He pushes the genre forward in a way that I don't think Drake ever has, in my opinion. I think Drake is like a byproduct of like the Lil Wayne era, and he's like become like the next guy up from that stage, I guess, and has played really, really well in like what he's good at. But I want to see a little bit more out of him, like from like a risk taking. Like if he says he's the best, and like show us why you're the best, versus just like making memes and shit all the time. Especially with this latest album, like. That's what I think about it.
I will say with Drake, when people are like when he's stealing certain flows, like when he did War and everyone was like,
the UK,
he's trying to get UK man now. And then when back in the day when everyone was like, oh, he's trying to be like Jamaican and shit. Like I don't know, I feel like with that he was like taking a little bit of a risk just because it's like it's not really his formula.
That's true.
So it's not really his formula, and like as much as people want to meme Drake, like I liked War, I liked some of that shit too. So it's like
Control a slap, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, I never look at I don't look at Drake albums being like, oh, this fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Like I hated that stuff. I hated this one. But I've just been like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's like it's good. It's whatever. I'm not gonna probably listen to most of these tracks after I listen to the album. Like fully, but like I feel like if he did something where he was more experimental, like a whole album, and he was just experimenting with like these flows and like different beats and just even different artists from like the flows that he's taking from, you know what I mean? I feel like if he did something like that and it was good, he can cement himself.
Oh man, like he can be incredible. And like when you think about it, it's like I use this analogy on our podcast, but like I said that like Drake to me is kind of like McDonald's.
Someone disagreed there, but yeah.
Oh, on Twitter?
On Twitter, yeah.
Oh man, I got it.
It is what it is.
I gotta check the comments, but regardless, I'm gonna fuck with what this person says. But like, I think that it's like he's consistent. He's like good. If when you go to McDonald's, like you're never like, oh man, like that fucking was terrible, bro. Like that shit was that was horrible. You're just like, yeah, okay, it was good. Like you know what I mean? It's like it's not bad. It's consistent. You know what you're getting every single time, and you're happy with it. But like, it's not like that with some other artists. And I think that like when you talk about people who've like taking risks, like we were just talking about Baby Keem, kind of like on his latest stuff you were telling me before this, that he's tried a bunch of different things, like experimental. I look at some of the artists who have grown the most in the last 10 years, like I look at like a Kendrick or a Tyler the Creator, a Travis Scott even.
People don't remember Owl Pharaoh.
Yes, they don't. That came a long way.
Yeah, and like it's like you evolve your sound. Meanwhile, I think that Drake has kind of been like stagnant, and then he plays like he has like the features of okay, he's got a little baby, he's got Future on the album, like
things always.
You know what I mean? It's like okay, like these guys are like hit makers, right? And then Drake is just like the facilitator of that kind of music, right? I don't know.
What's interesting is like even that Smiley feature, you know, or what's
Gucci.
Dude,
but here's the thing, like my favorite part is Smiley.
Same here.
Yeah, you can say it's obvious. Drake is a better technical rapper. He's a better artist probably than Smiley, but Smiley's doing something different. It's his own flow. It's unique.
That's how Drake is different, or that's how he tries to be different by like tapping into.
But he's doing the same thing. He sounds bored on it too. Versus Smiley sounds hungry.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't even know about Go Yard. I didn't.
I didn't either, bro.
I still don't.
All that shit.
That's like best.
It's fun, you know what I'm saying?
It's
we're missing that from Drake.
That's the thing. I feel like now a lot of people are starting to recognize the fact that Drake is kind of getting stagnant. Like he's doing the same shit.
Yeah.
It's just like, remember when we were in that Lyft, bro? We had a Lyft driver pick us up and he was playing CLB. And man just said, bro, this album's not good. And I was like,
it's good. It's not
yeah,
great.
it's good. He's like, I listened to it when it first came out, and I stopped listening. This is the first time I listened to it again after a week, and I was like, bro, that's crazy, because I was like, I've been saying the same thing. It's like I've listened to Donda the whole time, and then CLB came out. I tapped into that, and went back to Donda, bro.
Yeah.
Are you guys listening to Donda right now? Let's flip on Kanye.
I like it.
I like it. Yeah, I go back to it.
Right.
Bro, there's fire tracks on it. The thing is, like I said on the episode when we reviewed it, I wish it wasn't as long as it was.
Facts.
It could have been better. So why add part 2? Just add it all into one. Just like, you know, just make
Like
it like
if you made the part 2s into like a deluxe later.
Yeah, exactly.
I need that explicit.
Yeah.
Yo, I need that explicit, yo. But that's just like, it sounds different. Like, it was better than Jesus is King, but that was a gospel album. I feel like it was better than Ye.
Yeah.
So this is like, it's not one of his amazing albums, but it's like, it's a good album. But Kanye's already a legend. He already does stuff that's different from everyone else. So it's like,
Even with that, like all his albums are different. Like 808s,
Mike Dark's was a fan.
And that's what I feel about some other artists too, like Travis Scott. Like all of his albums are pretty different. Kendrick, they're pretty different. You know what I'm saying?
See, so listen, you know why Kanye stands out is because this man's like in his 40s now, bro. This guy's been doing it for over 20 years. And it's
Sending
always
shit on Twitter.
He's always like, people are waiting for the album. People are anticipating the album, stuff like that. Whereas with Drake, it's like, okay, you've been in the game for about 10 years now, something like that.
I think a little bit more.
Like 12 years. Like,
Yeah.
Like 2009, the first
12 years.
Yeah. No, he's been running it, but I remember the first time I heard Drake was on 106 in Park. He had like Replacement Girl, Trey Songz. That was 09. No, 06. Oh, my bad.
09 was Thank Me Later.
My bad. 06.
Drake's been here, man.
He's been here, but people wouldn't know outside of the city.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. But as he's been running shit, probably since like 2011.
Yeah,
For sure.
100%.
So
but I will say, like, the hype for me was bigger on this Drake album than Ye. Like, because it was supposed to come out in January.
It was supposed to come out like last year.
Yeah.
Last year. So I've been waiting for the Drake album versus Kanye. The rollout was a bit shorter. The window was shorter.
That's why I say, I expected better from CLB.
Expectations were.
That's why I have in my head, it's like, yo, this shit was okay. And I'm not even trying to hate. I love Drake. It's just like,
same here.
I don't even need another Kanye album. He cemented himself so much that I'm like, I don't need it. But for Drake, I'm like, hey, when's the classic coming?
I will say
maybe that's not fair.
I will say with Donda too, especially if you heard the live streams. Like you know the tracks, so you knew what you were getting. He just kind of tweaked some shit.
Well, and that's what was so cool about it, because it was like the creative process was like on a public display. Versus Drake, it's like, okay, cool, like that weird like Sports Center, like
that was so weird.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's bunk. But
so what do you guys think? Who had the better marketing in regards to the album rollouts, Drake or Kanye?
Drake 1,000%. 1,000%.
The billboards were so far.
That shit was tough.
Yeah.
In the specific city that the artist was in.
We talked about it on the podcast that like both of them don't need to do any marketing. Right?
No.
Drake is very intentional with his marketing versus Kanye is just himself.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Kanye really put out anything so much. He's just like, yo, let me do listening parties. That's the marketing for him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And like
And he did billboards after Drake did it because he wanted to do some petty kind of competition stuff. But like,
Drake focused more on the marketing side
100%.
of the release of this album
than the music.
than the actual music itself, I think.
This album cover is cheesy.
It's
So stupid.
Yeah.
But like Malick said, it's basically just memes.
Yeah. Like, and that's part of it, right? Like, that's part of like Drake's like style. Like, he makes himself like a household name by like making himself so accessible to every single person that like my mom will know about the album, or like you know my cousin will talk to me, like, you know what I mean? People who aren't even interested in hip hop will like will know about it. And like the emoji thing on the front, it's like, okay, like that's so memeable. You've seen so many different like iterations of that, like advertisers jump on that. I've seen a bunch of that stuff too. Like it's just so accessible to everybody, and that's where Drake really wins. But I'm like,
but here's the thing though, like I find that obviously we have a bit of like an echo chamber, right? Like we follow people that kind of share the same opinions and all of that, and everyone's talking on my Twitter about Drake. I go to work, they can't name one song on the album.
I barely know one song on the album.
Like what's the lead? I mean, Way Too Sexy, maybe.
Yeah.
Most people don't know it.
Yeah.
So like,
no, but that's the thing too. What track on that album is going to stand
that's
the
what I'm
test of
saying.
time?
Like
Nothing,
people can say
bro.
Controlla before, like these other songs, but like
Know yourself.
Yeah, but like what are you gonna say?
Literally, they don't have that on this album. Even on Scorpion, like I feel like did it have a
Well, God's plan.
God's
God's
Plan. What was the other one? Kiki.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice
shit.
for what? No, Kiki. No.
Nice.
Nice for What was a different song with the Lauryn Hill sample, and then you had the Kiki one, which was I can't remember.
What's that song?
Yo.
Are you right? I don't know.
Whatever. Oh, In My Feelings.
That was huge.
That was a great song. Got the dance.
Why does he doesn't have any of those? Like,
That's the thing. So it's like, nothing on this album stands out to me that's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna remember from you, right?
I thought I was like waiting. I was like, okay, next song. I was like, is this it? Oh, okay.
And I have my favorite tracks on the album. I'm like, yo, this is not even like as fire. Like it's cool, but like it's not.
if your parent can't name a song on the album, it's not doing what it needs to do.
Yeah, you didn't know what you need to do, bro.
Okay, next question. If both these artists were to go on tour, hey, listen, if both artists were to go on tour at the same time, who you into, Kanye or Drake? You already know my answer is Kanye.
I've never been to a Kanye. Well, I've never been to a Drake either, but
You never been to Drake?
I've never been
to a Kanye. And
Bro,
I feel like
what's
the
wrong with
production
you?
there.
I've been to
He goes to OVO Fest every year.
I've been to OVO Fest
Okay,
13,
yeah.
14, 15, I skipped 16, 17, and then I've been to this other concert.
Sure.
So Kanye, I've seen him 3 times. And you know what's crazy? The first time I saw Kanye, Drake brought him out of OVO Fest.
Yeah.
And now they're beefing, so it's crazy.
Man,
bro.
wouldn't they make the most amazing music? Right?
Yes.
Like, imagine a Drake album produced by Kanye.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, it'd be like a different.
That would
it'd
be
a
fun.
little-
Step out of the 40 a bit. Let me see.
Yeah.
No disrespect to 40, he's an incredible producer, but sounded a bit just kind of lazy. This
Yeah,
album, you know?
I don't know. To answer your question, I gotta go with Drake. I've seen Kanye before.
True.
Like I've always wanted to see Drake, and like I bet he puts on like an excellent show, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's like not bad because like when you're in the concert, he's playing the bangers like all day,
yeah,
right?
100%.
He's playing everybody's going ham. But with Kanye, I saw him before, and like I would love to see him again because like. I saw him on the Yeezus tour. It was like 2014.
Yeah.
It was one of the craziest things I've ever been a part of.
Production.
Like the production of it's like I was watching like a play.
Yeah.
His rants and shit.
Yeah. He went on a 45 minute.
I remember
play.
that.
Like he just spoke. The concert was like 3.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Damn.
And like at each moment though, like I felt like I was engaged. Like I was never like, okay, I'm bored. Like I was like the whole time I was like, this is fucking amazing, right? And I wasn't even like, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't like drinking that much. Like I was there to enjoy it.
I pick Kanye.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I pick Drake by default because I haven't seen him. I want to see him for years. But Kanye puts on a fucking heck of a show.
Kanye shows are crazy.
They're nuts, man, dude. And the Donda one is probably gonna be like,
it's probably even crazy.
it's gonna be nuts, man.
like those live streams will probably be exactly like that.
Yeah.
Like it's like scary. Like it's like
See
dark.
Jay-Z come out of
Yeah.
Oh my god, yo.
He came out with like for the Yeezus tour. He came out with like the Margiela,
I remember,
like, the mask
Yeah,
or whatever,
the mask.
right? And he just comes on and like when he goes up to the machine and he like presses like the key and it's the beginning to the album,
Right.
and it's like. This is just like everyone like you hear the one note and it's like everyone's like, oh shit, this is crazy, man.
I'm trying to experience
Amazing
it.
performers, both of them. Like,
Yeah,
you can't
to be
even-
honest.
Yeah.
And with Drake too, it's like people just know with a Drake concert, he's bringing out like
That's
Future's
true, that's
coming.
true. Yeah,
Future's
that's
coming,
fine.
maybe a little baby
Yeah.
with Travis.
That's big
So
fact, yo.
he like to answer the question,
LeBron. Like,
yeah.
Remember,
LeBron was just on stage, like what the
I don't
hell?
know the lyrics.
Like to be honest, I'd probably pick Kanye just because I've never been to either, right?
Yeah.
But a Kanye like concert would be an experience in itself.
Yeah.
If I went to, I want to go to both, obviously.
Yeah.
But Drake would just be amped, bro, because he'd be bringing out people.
Yeah. Like,
he's
you'd never
playing,
be bored.
He's playing the bangers, like you said. You wouldn't be bored. You'd just be having a good time.
It's really exciting, man. Like everyone's like, and like that's the thing. Like Drake is like, he knows how to put on a show.
Yeah.
He knows like how to have fun with it.
100%.
You feel like you're watching a concert. Like and like every song is just like hit. So it's like when you take all of Drake's songs and you like all of his like best songs and you put on like a 20-song album.
Yeah,
It's like this is fire. Like his greatest hits one day is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. That's true.
Did you hear about the Versus thing?
with Kanye.
Swift, yeah, Kanye wanted to do a versus with Drake,
Wow.
and Drake didn't want to do one.
Coward.
Swift was talking about it. Swift was talking about it. Kanye wanted to do one, and I'm so glad that Kanye wanted to do it because I thought he wouldn't want to do it, but
That's crazy.
that would be insane.
Drake needs to be challenged by someone. Like, I remember the Meek Mill thing. Like, I don't know. I like Meek Mill, man. I don't hate it, but like, it's like, you know, he made a diss track into a pop song. I was like, okay, cool. But I'm like, even the what's his name, Pusha T stuff,
Man.
dude, he got like Drake got bodied hard, and I don't feel like he's like really like proved himself and come back from that ever since. He just kind of like got laced and then hung up.
He's like, yo, I had a track I was going to release, but my mom told me not to.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like 2018 is when people have been trying to like look at Drake differently because he got bodied by Pusha, and it's like, if you want to be considered one of the greatest rappers of all time,
He's always gonna have the asterisk still, though. You know, if they're not writing his bars.
No friends in the industry, has half the industry on the fucking album. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. Versus would have been fire.
bro, that would break records on him.
100%. Kanye could just verse himself. Like,
Literally,
different eras of Kanye versus
He probably would do like something like that. Like,
something different, you know?
That's crazy. Damn, now we need to see that. I need that to happen in my lifetime. I really need that.
back when they're like 80 years old. Like, we finally got it. We finally got it.
Whatever device we have at that point is no Instagram, it's something else. It's like holograms battling each other.
Imagine.
I feel like the Drake and Kanye beef is like Shaq and Kobe, like two like goats.
Yeah.
Very like different.
Yeah.
And then maybe one day we'll see them kind of like make up for it, you know, it's all good. And then like release like a song or something together, an album, like an EP or something together.
Man.
That'd be hype.
Think
It's
about
actually
that.
like a sick comparison, like Shaq and Kobe, because like Drake and Kanye were good, and then
Yeah.
it's like petty shit that got between them, right?
Yeah, and it's just like, just make up for it, because like they're both excellent.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right.
What's crazy is like hip hop is so new still that like rappers haven't really grown old and still been on top of their game.
Yeah,
Like if you look at the Rolling Stones, there's 70, 80 still
Big facts.
performing.
Yeah,
They have albums that have their 50th anniversary coming out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of
Yeah.
Jay-Z's album.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
imagine 30 years from now.
Yeah, we haven't seen the greatest hits from anybody yet.
No need.
Yeah.
It's still going. 30 years from now, Kanye and Jay-Z still performing.
Right. Crazy.
God willing that they're still alive, you know, hopefully. But like,
But it goes back to it goes, in my opinion, and this is the last kind of like thing that I'll say on this, is like, goes back to the concept of the original question of what is timeless here.
Yeah.
And it's like the Rolling Stones, that's timeless music. I can listen to that right now. I wasn't born in that generation, but like, I know those songs. My parents know those songs. You know, all that kind of stuff. With Drake, I'm like, what am I going to be like? In a retirement home, just gonna fucking like no talent or some shit like that. Yeah, I'm running through the six. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I feel like he's cemented himself in like one specific moment in time, and we don't know what that is going to look like later on, you know, down the road. Like, are we still going to feel that same way? I'm like I said at the beginning of the question, I listened to School Spirit by Kanye West, like that one song for some reason, like to me that is like so nostalgic. It has like a very specific meaning to me, along with those first couple albums that he made, that I'm like, damn, like, oh yeah, like I can go back to those and be like, oh shit, like I remember that. But like Drake's last couple albums, I'm like, I don't really feel like that. But some of Drake's original songs, like, you know, in his like first 5 years, I look back, I'm like, I get that feeling kinda, but you know, time will tell, I guess.
time will
But he's been around for like 10 years, man. Like, you know, they're longer than that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know, man. It's the last thing I'll say is that I just want to see this stuff like 20 years from now. Because if you think about, again, like the Rolling Stones, they have bad albums. Albums that their fans don't like. They have 20 plus albums.
Yeah, let's not pretend like everything.
Not everything's classic, great, but Drake still doesn't even have that classic.
No.
Which is a problem.
And he needs it.
And he needs it to be in that
badly,
conversation.
yo. So I
To
mean,
me at least.
I guess that wraps it up. I mean, it's to your own discretion, you know. I feel like we're all leaning towards Kanye. I don't want to speak for anyone else in regards to the timeless piece, but
Who
like,
wins Grammy next year? Hip hop.
Probably
Everyone to drop. Tyler, Drake.
I think Tyler.
Maybe Tyler.
I I don't know. Grammys are weird.
Whatever, I don't know, is it like a white artist that's like comes in the
Macklemore just drops an album.
Just like, oh,
Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow might win. You never know.
He dropped.
So the Grammys are weird.
I don't hate Jack Harlow.
I don't hate him. He's cool.
Eminem
probably has an album flow.
Eminem can drop. Remember his last album, the surprising one. That got nominated for a Grammy. That shit was ass.
Marshall Mathers LP 2, I think it was.
Something like that. It was like 2018 or something, but it was like for what, bro? But
it's a whole, it sold so much too, and we don't hear it from anyone.
Yeah,
I'm like, where y'all at? Like, I don't know.
Eminem fans, they're out here still.
Yeah, America.
I guess that concludes this episode.
Yes, sir.
So thank you very much for the MadMix for joining us for this special episode. Like I said, this is something I wanted to do for a long time. Like me and Kanye really wanted you guys on it, so like we appreciate
Man,
you
like
guys.
Doc's been busy, but
Any closing thoughts you guys want to say about like plug your podcast, plug yourself, like all that?
Yeah, I mean, like we can, like we'll plug the MadMix and all that kind of stuff. But I will say is like I respect you guys for the hustle, man. Like I know a lot of this stuff is tough to get off the ground. Mm-hmm. You guys been doing this for, I mean, this is like your second season. Your first kind of season coming in as well. I hope you guys have a lot of success. It's been fun. Like it's been nice to be on the other side of the sometimes, to be honest. But respect to both of you guys. Like, you know, it's tough to get these things going. So keep grinding.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Echo the same thing. I think consistency is key. You guys know that. It's just we're talking about like 80% of podcasts fail after the 6 episodes. Y'all are 2 seasons in, we're 3 seasons in. Like,
yes, sir.
On the road to go.
Keep winning.
30 years from now, we're gonna still be podcasting.
We're gonna be looking back. Which was the MadMix classic?
Yeah. The classic episode. Big versus UnorthoTalks versus
We're gonna have a beef in like a little bit. Like,
We could have beer, bro.
beef, I'm gonna pull up to Dak's place. Yo, what's good, bro?
Probably, yo. But yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for everyone listening and watching. If you guys are watching the visual, because we got a visual out here.
Yes, sir.
So shout out. We'll be back next week as always, and peace and blessings, yo.
Peace.
Peace.